Now, this is a wild frog, so it does not hand feed, and because it got adjusted to the aquarium, it now jumps in the water and dives to the bottom, holding its breath every time I disturb it. It is not friendly at all, so hopefully it doesn't drop in the water. Hopefully it goes after some of those. Now, I always feed crickets instead of mealworms. As you see, the crickets are smart enough to know how to get out of the water and climb on things. Oh, look at the frog turn. Oh, that's a good sign. The frog is gonna live as long as the frog eats. Okay, now this is the first time, so I'm just giving it regular crickets. Next time I do it, I'm gonna coat the crickets in calcium powder to help the frog. You see there's one of them sticking out of its mouth. So now it has the 14 other crickets. Whenever it's hungry, they'll survive in here for weeks. Unless they somehow figure out how to get out. There are some smart crickets that figure out if they jump up the, or climb up the electrical wires, they can get out. I think it just got two. Oh, this is a hungry frog. This frog probably hasn't had food in months. See him swallow? Okay, let's see if she can get another one. They gotta move. Blowing on the crickets trying to get them to move. The frog loves sitting in this waterfall. That's where she usually is. She doesn't even go up on the dry land ever. Oh, that was a big surprise. Thought my hand was gonna scare her. I guess she's adjusting now. Oh, still hunting. She just fell down into the drain hole. This is the frog I rescued from that culvert pipe last week. It's now the middle of winter. Temperatures at night are getting into the teens and single digits. And this frog was inside of a culvert pipe at an interchange where there was some water. And I went back to get the frog, and the culvert was full of ice. I can't believe the frog was still alive. The frog could not hibernate because there was gravel on the bottom of the culvert in the water. And frogs usually have to eat a lot before they hibernate. The frog was unable to do that, unable to dig into the mud. If the frog left the culvert pipe, she would have froze to death. So now, it's a good pet. Eating and everything. So it looks like the frog is gonna just try hunting them all off now. And the frog very well might eat them all at once. Because a frog can eat their own body weight. Look at the stupid crickets upside down. If they don't get upright, they'll usually drown. Let's get another angle. This frog has some very interesting patterns. Go ahead, turn on the fogger. Get some extra humidity into the tank. A lot of the plants I put over here are doing pretty well. The ones I saved from the winter. The peppers didn't die, but I moved that outside because they had bunch of these tiny little bugs on them. There, I just turned on the fogger. And I'm going to close this aquarium up now. Water's a little bit too deep for that to work properly. I gotta reseat that. This frog really likes all this plant growth here. Every time I come into the room and I scare the frog, she hops back into the plants. Sometimes she dives to the bottom. And as soon as the crickets get in there, they'll be able to hide really well. So maybe they'll last a while. She's shedding. She sheds all of her neck feathers like twice a year. So she has all these bald spots for like 2 weeks until they grow back in. See all that? That'll grow back in like 2 weeks. It's shedding season. You can see it's already starting to grow back. That's what those points are. Those are new feathers growing.